Hi there, I'm Andrew. Welcome to Urban Rider for a look at the best open-face motorcycle helmets. The best thing about riding a motorcycle is the connection that it gives you to your surroundings, and the nature of an open-face helmet keeps that experience as pure as possible. You get a field of vision that you simply won't find from a full-face helmet, which is as good for spotting hazards in town as it is for soaking up the view on a ride out. True, you do lose the protective chin bar that you get with a full-face helmet, but some people find a full face too claustrophobic, some too heavy, some just prefer the looks of an open face, and some want one as an alternative for those sunny days. So whatever your reason, let's embrace the world of open face riding, and let's take a look at the helmets that make our top 5. First up, the Hedon Hedonist. We view this as the pinnacle in open face design, but there's way more to this helmet than just its good looks. Hedon is still a relatively new brand from London, and at the moment they've arguably got the finest looking open face and full face helmet on the market for those looking for a classic inspired shell. The sheer quality of the finish, the slimness of the profile and the comfort of the fit are what makes this such a coveted product. Priced at $299 for the plain colours, but ranging up to $499 if you fancy a dash of metal leaf. The helmets weigh in the size medium at just 1,050 grams, which is very lightweight, and that's owing to the quality of the shell being a carbon and fiberglass composite. In short, if the budget can stretch, you really need to check this open face out. However, you can spend just half of that amount and still get some fantastic options. I doubt the Bell Custom 500 needs too much of an introduction, owing to the fact that this has been one of the best-selling helmets both sides of the Atlantic in recent years. Because this helmet represents fantastic value. It's an updated version of Bell's original 50s design with modern technical spec. It's a fiberglass shell in the standard options with a leather interior, and that's a really nice detail to get at this price point. Here we have the Talladega colorway, which is a carbon fiber finish version, and that means you've got a bit more of a range to choose from if you want something more fancy. But for me, the key selling point about the Bell Custom 500 is the fact that within their range there are 5 separate shell sizes, which is unusual, and what that means is that essentially you get a helmet that looks as small and as slim as it can do in relation to your head shape, whatever size you are. If a range of helmets only has, say, 2 different shells to cater to the sizes on offer, you may find that a medium might be really slim and look really good, but if you just go up to a large, if you're borderline, you may get a significantly bigger shell which doesn't look anything like as cool as the slimmer medium did. So that's fantastic. You can rest assured with the Custom 500, you will get the best looking helmet you possibly can in relation to your head size, whatever that may be. Unashamedly hunting down the same customers as the Bell Custom 500, we have the DMD Vintage helmet. This is relatively new to our lineup, and it undercuts the Bell slightly on price, starting at £149 in the plain colourways. And for that you get an equivalent standard of shell. You don't get the leather interior, but actually, particularly on the hotter days, I find that's quite a good thing because leather can get quite sweaty. Where the Vintage helmet really excels here is in being the slimmest, most profile and compact road legal open face on the market, and it really does look very, very good on your head. There are 2 shell sizes, switching between medium and large from the smaller to the larger of the 2. So the medium here we have really is super compact. It's a very lightweight helmet weighing at literally 1,000 grams on the button, and it's also available in a variety of different fancy options if you wish to. So we have the Thor here, which is hand painted and will cost you considerably more money, but in those standard colorways it really excels in being lightweight, fantastic looking and very good quality. Oozing heritage and authenticity is the Davida Speedster V3, the latest offering from the brand. Divita have been a constant in an ever-changing industry, and their latest offering really excels in its finish and also its quality of noise reduction. Comparatively, this is a marginally heavier helmet than the other 4 in our top 5, and that is offset by this substantial noise reduction. Genuinely, this is as quiet as the majority of decent full-face helmets that we've ridden with, which might go really well with those loud pipes. Providing a twist on the classic open face helmets in the lineup is the Shoei JO helmet. You get the same AIM multi-composite shell you find in some of their top of the range full face helmets, but what you get with this that's really interesting is this integrated drop-down visor, and that alleviates the need to fuss about whether you wear glasses, goggles, or bubble visors and all the other accessories that you associate with normal open face helmets. This simply retracts up into the shell and down as you wish, giving a really nice and streamlined protection to your eyes as you go along, and it makes the helmet look great. You can still obviously accessorize with goggles, giving this quite a large degree of versatility. When it comes to choosing the right open face, our experience has shown that there's a direct correlation between the slimness of the shell and the popularity of that helmet. And this is perhaps best exemplified in our store, where of course all the helmets are on display stacked up against each other. And quite often we find a helmet that may be popular online with a larger than average shell where you can't scale it, actually tends not to be so popular in store, where you can see that it's bigger than the other helmets particularly say the 5 that we have here. Being our top 5, there's nothing that could be considered a large shell in this lineup. There is one that sticks out though as being slightly smaller, which is the DMD Vintage, but everything else, the other 4 are almost identical in fact in terms of their overall dimensions on the outside. That's one factor. The other one is the actual nature of the cut of the shell and the internal fitment as to how it sits on your head, and that gives quite a big difference into how large the shell appears to be. And finally, sizing. It's a constant source of frustration for us as retailers. The manufacturers don't produce helmets to a consistent size grading. Sometimes, even amongst their own ranges, they differ. So you may find if you're a 57 centimeters, for example, that you'd be a medium in one brand. That is not something you can take for granted across all the different brands out there on the market. For example, Hedon are known to size small. Other brands may size slightly large. The majority do get it about right, but it is always worth checking the size guides at urbanrider.co.uk. Sometimes we even go to the extent of altering the manufacturer's recommended sizing where we simply know it to be wrong. But we state that as well, that if you've got specific questions to you can always email us at info@urbanrider.co.uk, and we're always happy to help. So which of these is the best? Well, that all depends. The right helmet for you might be a poor choice for somebody else and vice versa. So hopefully you found this review useful. So all that remains is for me to say thank you for watching, and please do subscribe to our YouTube channel. We feature the world's finest riding gear, and there'll be more of it coming thick and fast in the coming weeks. So hopefully we'll see you again for another video review shortly. Till then, goodbye.